So today we're talking about the ego and how to balance the ego. Now, in order for you to balance the ego, you got to understand what self-respect is, and you got to understand your shadow, because without those two things, you will not be able to know your rationality, because knowing your rationality is what puts you in the seat of judgment and having some form of self-respect, so that you don't fall within different aspects of your mind from you picking and choosing what you like and what you don't like, because your mind don't work like that, by the way. Like, y'all got to understand, it's your mind. Just because you don't know how to use it and control it, that don't mean that it's useless. So that light shine on you, huh? Yeah, understand that. Roll with natural selection. You're not greater than your mind. You're not more powerful than your mind. Definitely with using words. Why y'all use these labels and like, stop doing that too. Like, stop using labels. Stop using labels to create a feeling and a little image. Stop doing that. Stop doing it. You're gonna drown every time, because every time um that element, that characteristic is manifested externally, guess what's going to happen? You're going to react to it involuntarily. So one minute you probably want peace, but your mind going crazy. All right, shit like that create the monkey mind too. Not being aware what you're doing right there. So the big part is rolling with natural selection, so you can explore and discover your mind instead of making up shit. That's a big thing. And this leads me to my other point. Expectations, stereotypes, stigmas. So you know what ego is about, right? Your individuality. So if you're moving, maneuvering your body, your mind based on expectations, you only get those expectations from this world and your place up in it. So you got to understand, whenever an action or an urge, an inspiration happens, it's not about you trying to change that. It's about rolling with it, riding with it to explore what it is. Even though, because like I said, expectations is a part of your ego. You're going to know what it is that is to come, just by sensing. So this is where you either you get scary and you try to use a thought form to make you feel better. B, you do this so much that you don't know that you're doing it now. So it's just like some other shit. C, you're you know what you're doing, but you're trying to get some up out of using something that's genuine. Okay. So this is how you fuck around and create a perception of trying to manipulate things like that. A narc mentality. Okay. And the narc don't know that other people can sense what they're doing. So you got to understand, whenever your shadow is shown, because y'all move backwards. y'all create y'all mind backwards. Y'all think that y'all be hiding things, but it's really like, y'all retarded. That's all I can say. I ain't finna get deep into that science. Just know y'all create y'all thought forms, y'all mentalities backwards. Backwards. I see it within your body language and all that shit. But that being said, whenever you're maneuvering with your natural selection, so your intuition and shit like that, it's not about you trying to judge that. You don't judge that. You get the principle from that action. So you got to understand, this is about humility right here. So this is the humility part right here. It's going with your natural selection. The world probably got you thinking that humility is dimming yourself down or whatever belief system that you do have, buddy. So you got to understand that too as well. A lot of these things that you show attention to and all your values and your beliefs just come from your place within the world and how you just reacted and responded to it. It wasn't actually from you learning from it and extracting the principles and the virtues of those lessons so that you can be on your high horse and be judgmental in a positive way because you're at a pure state. And the reason why you do things is just out of righteousness. That's the highest extent that your ego can be, is just do things because it's right to do it. That's it. That's how you become that pure form. Once you understand that, once you develop some wisdom, you put in the time, because it's not gonna happen overnight. It's not gonna happen just because your mirror told you what to do and you doing what your mirror said to do. No, you have to. You eventually, over time, your mind's going to create the eternal event that, oh, damn, I really am genuine. I really am doing these things just for no reason, just because I am being righteous. Okay, so whenever that realization happens, and I shouldn't even tell you that because y'all probably gonna force that because the human mind is so. But whenever that happens, it manifests as a realization. Then boom, you will have, what's the word I'm looking for? You will have more room for your intellect because the ego is about, like I said, judgment and understanding things in an objective manner. The ego deals with your character. So it's about understanding the reasoning for a character. Like I said earlier, your rationality. Once you're in a pure state and you do things that's out of righteousness, guess what? You're gonna see that within every character. And if you don't see within every character, is your mind is gonna let you know what that character is doing, its intentions, and how it did make its form. So that goes back to why I said how y'all make y'all forms backwards and shit. That's what I'd be experiencing. But with that being said, this is how you understand your ego and humility and your way, not what the world is portraying shit to be. You extract the principle and the virtue, and your mind gives you ideas and feelings in correspondence to the external realm that manifests as a knowledge and an ability to express and explain that. So, for an example, me, okay, I've done enough shadow work. I got self knowledge. So, and I understand the external world. So, I can say things like, you don't know what you're talking about. Just without me falling into an aspect of being uh, arrogant. Because arrogance within the mind just manifests as you just being blind. Okay? That don't happen with me. It may happen in your perspective because that's what you was taught and your conditioning and things like that. But I can come over here and say things like, I can make more sense than you. Shit that's very egotistical, but I won't fall. Because I know how not to fall. So understand this is how you understand your goddamn self and your character and what you are doing within your existence and your spot within it. So this is also how you find your purpose too. It's balancing out your ego. So once you extract those principles and those virtues, you will automatically be confident. Like you're not gonna fall unless you are scary. You have no courage. You're not brave. You don't practice those virtues. Then hey, every time a challenge arises, you're going to be timid, and it's going to summon up those thoughts and feelings that align with that energy. Very, very, very simple. No, and it goes with your age too. You probably was scared of that phenomenon when you were 6. So you've been experiencing that your whole life. The only thing that did change is your way of looking at it or the form of it, since you just have been progressing throughout your whole life. So the form of it just changed, but the energy of it ain't changed since, because you're still getting those feelings and memories of your child state, experiencing shit like that through the forms of pain. Now, understand your pleasures and your joys too. And if you don't know them, then hey, go with what I said earlier. Your natural selection. That's how you discover yourself. You don't gotta read no damn book. None of that bullshit. It's all within you. It may sound cliche, but hey, buddy, that's the truth. The reason why you don't take that step is because of bravery. You're not brave. You're not courageous. You don't try to trigger yourself. You should be wanting to trigger yourself because you want to, because you got some type of ideal spiritual space that you want to be in. You should be wanting to trigger yourself. You shouldn't be running from no damn challenge. So that, and you're gonna fuck around and be a blind man, even if you perceive yourself to be confident. If you're running from things, it don't matter what form it is. If you're running from things and you are more so on the confident side, you're going to manifest situations where you're arrogant, meaning you're going to be blind internally. Now, it don't matter what nobody says on the external about your character, or whatever. Like, it don't matter. Like, use me as example again. I don't care about no stereotype, no stigma, or your opinion. I don't give a fuck. If anything, I'm going to challenge you. So, with that being said, with the outside world saying all that, kick that shit to the dirt. These niggas trash. All y'all belief systems and all that, that's trash. Look at where we are today. Look at where we are today. That shit's fucking suck. That shit suck. That shit suck. So understand what you're doing with your mind. Understand that life and this whole journey thing, it steps, it's levels. And this shit is literally like a book. Okay? It don't stop though, but you are in a particular spot of your journey. And you can know the particular spot of your journey if you just flow with yourself and with God, because that's what it is. That's the conclusion that you're going to end up coming to, whether you don't believe in God or whatever. I'm not getting into none of that bullshit y'all be talking about down here. But with that being said, just keep things. I'm referring to me. I'm just gonna keep things just stable so that anybody can just understand what I'm saying without using the word God and all that dumb shit. Cause y'all are lost in language, words. Y'all lost in different aspects. Y'all don't even know. Y'all don't even know. And I'm expressing this to show you that, hey, maybe the way I'm looking at the ego and all that shit, it may be wrong. It may be something else on the other side. So that being said, that is the ego. That is how you balance your ego. And this is how you have a sense of self, a sense of justice, a sense of knowing, a sense of understanding the world and yourself, so that you can actually be at a joyous state and not have no things, circumstance, or situation throw you off. because you can't get to that point to where no thought or feeling that is from the past is able to come in. But y'all gotta understand that shit still exists. So y'all can't just be like delusional and picking what you want in your mind. It don't work like that. 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 And I've been telling y'all that. I got a whole fucking Shadowwork series and all that shit. And that shit is about literally I'm I'm in the shadows. I'm in the world of where all these people that have the ability to create Bibles and all that shit. I'm in that world for real. So you gotta understand, buddy, y'all are y'all are lost within everything of this world. Get about the stereotypes. Fuck all the stigmas. Dude, you're here. You already know the shit. Just trust yourself.